Hey, this is Russ back again with another episode for you guys. And yeah, going to basically give another post commentary over this. Yeah, episode 5. So, queuing up buildings right now. We're getting close to the medieval era. Republic is going to be having a republic right now is going to be great for us. It's going to massively increase our science yield as well as all of our other yields. So like when you have the starting government, you get very low resources out of everything because you basically lose like one resource on every tile that has more than, I think it's like 2 or 3 pips of something. So yeah, uh getting a different government form, getting rid of that despotism debuff, and then getting that buff for like currency for Republic is going to massively increase our science. And yeah, right now just queuing up stuff, buildings, workers, all of that to try to make everything work out well. Losing money every turn, but that's fine. It's okay to lose money for a little while, so in order to push forward science, for science. And yeah, we're getting our tiles improved pretty quickly at a pretty fast rate. Um, and we're going to have everything improved pretty early on. That's pretty important if you want to have some good yields out of all your cities, grow them really fast. We're pretty much out of the phase in which we're going to be settling cities. Could I have settled maybe 1 or 2 cities? Maybe. You have those like really far out cities like that we could have settled in the north. Because obviously Korea hasn't colonized those islands to the north yet. But they'd be far away, like I said. They'd be kind of useless. They wouldn't really contribute anything. Um, and putting production now towards things that'll actually be useful to us, like buildings and wealth and stuff like that, workers, that's going to be much more profitable for us, at least in the short term. Um, right now, making some big trades, seeing what I can do. I'm already researching currency, so don't really feel too inclined to trade Republic for that. Same thing with monarchy. Monarchy's not needed at all. I mean, so other than that, we're doing pretty well when it comes to technology. We're ahead in tech on some nations, which is pretty good considering the fact that this is my first time playing on this difficulty. I do think playing Archipelago, or however you are supposed to pronounce that, is helping me a bit in that regard. Being able to trade with some people and not those people not being able to trade with other people and everything, very, very powerful. So yeah. Next time around, I'm thinking when I play a Civ 3 game, I'm thinking of putting everything on random, actually. Like random Civ, random world, and all of that, so that I have no clue what's going on around me at the very beginning. I think that would be a lot more challenging, because I think part of the thing that I'm able to do here is I'm able to plan around the fact that it's an islands map. That's why I was producing like ships early on and exploring the map that way, and finding people to get the tech trades. I think it would be a much better test of skill to like not know what's going on at the beginning, and not be able to plan around that, and not being able to plan around a Civ bonus. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do next time as a way to test my ability in this difficulty, see if I can actually win in that regard. Just a thought. We'll see. I'm not sure if that's a good way to go. And I'm also not sure if I'd want to if I'd want to spoil, if I did like a thumbnail like the thumbnail for this series. I basically did just take like a screenshot of the map, and I have like a screenshot of the person. If I do a random series, I might just decide to make like this question mark or something like that, in order to make it like, you don't get spoiled by the thumbnail what's going on. But yeah, so people are building stuff. They can't really irrigate on this island, unfortunately. I was actually thinking, like, in the beginning, like, oh, maybe if I build aqueducts, I can irrigate or something like that. But I realized a little later I was thinking of the wrong game or something. I'm not sure if that's able to be done in any sort of fighting some barbs here. Unfortunately, these barbs didn't do anything to stop the Koreans, which is kind of annoying. They've just been, you know, annoying. Moving that guy forward to engage the barbarian, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. And building improvements. Of course, building mines on hills, very advantageous now, because all of that. And it looks like I am in the medieval era. I always love that picture. And now I have a wizard, which is pretty cool. So now, time to look at feudalism, maybe. We'll see. Actually, typically I like going for like those wonders that give you like the technology boost in this era. I find that there's nothing crazy like advantageous about this era besides like the naval stuff. Other than that, a lot of the things in this era are just like, oh, you can do this better than the ancient era. Like, no, now you're making more science. Now you're making more, you know, stuff like that. There isn't really like too much changing between the ancient era and the medieval era. The next eras, like the end of this era and the beginning of the next era, where like you can get new like things available, like communism and stuff like that. That's where like things really change. I mean, is it the next era? Yeah, I think it's the industrial age that you get like communism and fascism and stuff like that, but I could be wrong. But right now, the only thing to really focus on is like getting those wonders, baby, that will give me like a science boost. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get them, but you know, there's not really many other technologies to aim for in the medieval era particularly. You could get the boat stuff, which is the same ones as those wonders. I guess that can be useful. Basically, all the wonders are just a little bit like the ones in ancient times that like, you know, they just give you buffs to stats you already have. And, yeah, so I don't know. I've never really been too decisive during the medieval era. If I'm doing war early on, I usually kick it off in the ancient era. And I think a lot of that comes down to things like the gunpowder unit being very, very good in defense, like a musketeer and stuff like that. I don't really feel incentivized to like attack or do anything like crazy during this era. Usually if I want to do something warlike, it's going to be like in the next era when I can get like communism or fascism, and you can get tons and tons of more units. You know, if you didn't go for that in the ancient era, then you know, you're not really going to do it in the medieval era. Looks like I'm looking to maybe trade for a luxury here. Make people happier, I guess. They're almost willing to give it to me. I do think I need to pay like some gold for that. Not give them a technology, that would be stupid. Come on. It's acceptable. Maybe they'll do it for a little less. Haggling. Nope. I don't remember how much I end up paying them. But I'm pretty sure I do take the incense in the end. Yep, 18. Every little piece of gold counts. And I am making positive gold now, which is kind of cool. And I'm building my palace. This is pretty important. I think I want to go for it more European style-ish, maybe. We'll see. Maybe Romanesque. Come on. What are you doing? Actually, I like that. Yeah. But yeah. Maybe a bit more Romanesque or European. I don't know. Last time I went like with a pretty crazy mix. And yeah. Building roads. And improvements on the roads. And again, a lot of the early game comes down to building the buildings and getting the improvements. Getting wonders is pretty hard, so it's pretty safe to just build the buildings. If you don't think you can get the wonder, if you don't know you can get the wonder, it's usually not worth going for it. Almost every time in this game, I'm not sure if I go for any wonders in this game, but if I did, I probably got disappointed. Because I don't remember ever having like good experiences with getting wonders in many of my games for Civ 3. Civ 5, so long as you're not playing on like the hardest or the second hardest difficulty, you can usually get the wonder you want. I'm giving them Republic, of course, because there's no way I can really fight anyone at this time. You know, I'm used to playing Civ 5 where I can always almost get like one wonder. But yeah, can't really get a wonder here. If you're playing like on normal difficulty on Civ 5, you can usually actually get 2 wonders. Let's see what happens. I really have no desire for monarchy at all. That's the biggest thing. Once you go Republic, there's no need to switch to monarchy unless you go to war. And like I said, once I commit to Republic, I usually sit through Republic for like the entire medieval era. No point in switching over. None at all. Sometimes I'll sit through a Republic for the whole game. I think the only other choice like that really like focuses like on that like wealth like side of things is like democracy, maybe. But democracy is so bad because you have to pay for all your units, and you just end up losing more. You know, I've never had like a really good experience with democracy. I could see it being useful if you were playing like a 1v1 maybe, like against like a human player, and you guys had decided, oh, let's not go to war for a certain period of time. Maybe. But that would be like kind of like, you know, stupid. That's not like a typical situation, I guess that's what I'd say. Yeah, democracy is not that great, from my experience at least. Fascism is pretty good. Communism is better than fascism, and Republic is probably like the best whenever you're not at war. Monarchy is pretty good, but it's only good in situations like early war stuff or stuff like that. And I've never used feudalism. I don't understand it. I don't understand the concept of like keeping your cities small like that. Yeah. Harbor. Maybe? Yep. Cool. I like harbors. And that's going to become important for like getting harbors on like all of these things, because I believe what that does is it allows like all of like the stuff to be connected. Like if I have like a luxury on this island, like it would apply to like all my other islands that have harbors to it as well. So it's pretty important stuff. We're going pretty fast improving these tiles. Like you've seen like in just like the course of like the few turns that we've watched over the post commentary, that we've went from like maybe like a fourth of the mainland being improved to like more than half of it now. And some cities, like almost every single tile's improved. So yeah, that's pretty big. We also have like a few workers working away on our second island that's shared with the Koreans. And then the only island that we have all to ourselves only has like a few tiles. That won't take too long to improve. Really, this island is not going to do too much besides contribute like a little bit of resource to the empire. Like you can't really expect like this island to ever get like enough production to produce like military units in that regard, but you know, it's good. It's extra science and culture and stuff like that. Every little bit helps. There's no such thing as like a completely useless city, unless it's like the tundra, like the tiles that the Spanish are settling like at the bottom of our island that I'm avoiding like the plague. You know, that's pretty useless. Um, but yeah, like things like that. Oh, the another big difference between this civ and other civs is that like water tires were actually like pretty useful. Like I believe they provide currency. Maybe I'm thinking of Civ 4, but I believe Civ 3 they produce like currency and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty good for you. These tiles. Uh, People aren't always that happy in Byzantium, unfortunately, and there is some civil disorder in the capital. We did have reached max. Oh, is that max? I don't remember. There's like a certain max population you can get until you can build like another building that would make it higher. So I don't know if I can get past 7. Maybe it was 9 or 8 or something like that. I guess we'll see. But yeah, population is pretty important. And we got our special boat sailing around a little. I think he's gone to pick up some workers maybe, because I do think I'm getting like this inkling that eventually we'll need to move the workers from one island to another, because we are doing this pretty fast. German city has produced a statue of Zeus, so I don't think I've even discovered the Germans yet. Maybe I have, but like, yeah, it told me that they're there. And yeah, building more mines. The grassland places already have like a lot of food, so there isn't really much point in like building irrigation where there's like grassland, because the cities are gonna grow, you know, anyways, so may as well get more production out of it. Build buildings faster, build units faster. The city is not going to stop growing anytime soon because of a lack of food when you have all that grassland. This place, on the other hand, this island is kind of doomed to not grow for quite a while, unfortunately. I actually queued up aqueducts here thinking that maybe that would have let me irrigate, but then I think I read like later on, like I actually like go into the description, the Civilopedia, and I'm like, oh wait, aqueducts don't let me irrigate. I'm stupid. But yeah, unfortunately there's no way to irrigate that island, and I guess that's probably like very like one of like the dangerous things about playing on an island map. You know, when you're on a continent, you're bound to have like rivers and lakes and stuff like that, like going throughout the whole land, but you're not always guaranteed that on an island. I'm very lucky to have started next to that land, so I can irrigate like all of that land. But yeah, that's not guaranteed, and I'm sure that's gonna affect other civs worse than me. Although now that I say that, I see like river like in the Korean land. I'm pretty sure there's like a river going down the land in the Spanish. Try to think. Ooh, yeah, look, there's like a bigger river going down the Spanish land. Yeah, so they can irrigate. And I guess a harbor. Look at that. And nope. Don't. Yes, maybe aqueduct eventually. So maybe aqueduct is the one that like lets you like have bigger pop. That must be it. Yeah, look, now I'm checking the Civilopedia. A city with an aqueduct can grow beyond population 6. Note that a city adjacent to freshwater never requires an aqueduct. Dun dun dun. Oh no. That means that's useless to me. So I switch production. I'm like, oh well, granary. Much better to get a granary than that in the beginning. Because that city's never going to grow beyond the population for a while in order to do that. There's still quite a lot of technologies I haven't gotten in there. I haven't gotten literature yet, and I'm already trying to tear down the tree to get that. I just don't feel pressured to get literature right now. I'm not going for the great library, and my other cities are all producing different buildings that they need. And I know getting libraries in all your cities is a pretty important priority, but At the same time, you know, uh, I have a lot of other things I need to produce as well, like marketplaces. Um, so I don't really feel like need for like researching a building until like I really want to like start building it. Um, it's better to go for like the wonders first, if that's the case. When I start running out of buildings to queue into cities, then it's a good idea. But look, I'm looking now. I'm like, oh, this is when you can irrigate places without fresh water. That's way down the tech tree. That's not good. um, so yeah, I'm kind of like, darn it. It's still a ways away to be able to irrigate without that. Um, so yeah, that island. I'm coming to the realization now. Oh, that island's not gonna be producing much pop for a while. So yeah, uh, that's gonna be about it for this episode. There's still like another minute left or so. I'm moving that guy down there to pick up some workers, I think, and that worker's still working away. Forests are being cut down, jungles are being cut down. They don't really have lumber mills in this like standards like other civs do, so no real point in keeping those, unfortunately. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really excited to keep bringing these to you guys. Like, I'm pretty proud of how this game turned out. So yeah, I'm improving at Civ 3, getting better at the game. And your advice, as always, is much appreciated in the comments section below. If you guys can give me tips on how to become a better Civ 3 player. This is not a game I've like played large amounts of hours on, like Civ 5, so and Civ 4. So yeah, very appreciative to read your guys' feedback. Anyways, have a wonderful week, and happy holidays to you, all of you. Thank you so much. Like, favorite, and subscribe if you guys want to see more. Always interested in your feedback down in the comments section. You guys have a good one. God bless.